guys, how are you doing? Sorry I've been not consistent in uploading videos as often as you would like from Canada. So because I've been so busy launching my book and my sixth book, which is called WTF I Found God, which is here, you can see. So I've given the link below, and I've been involved with the marketing and the launch of the book and whole lot of things. So sorry, I had a lot of backlog. So I just got a bit busy. But then I'm really I promise to take my vlog very seriously, because there are so many of you who want to know more about Canada and more about my opinion as a journalist, and I would really want to take it seriously up and do videos more often from Canada. Sincerely. Okay, today's video is all about, should I go back to India? So that's my point. Now I want to talk about India versus Canada. There's so many people who want to come to Canada, but I've lived here for 15 years now, and now I'm thinking, contemplating whether I should now retire in Canada, retire in India, right? So these are the pros and cons. There are six pros and cons which I will talk to you about, and seven actually. So and then after that, you guys will decide whether you want to come to Canada or live in India, continue living in India. And those who are in Canada and thinking of going back to India, you might want to just contemplate and see what suits you. I mean, not just Canada, in any part of the world, that any part of North America is applicable in this. So number one is, Canada is insufferable during winter. Not every day does it snow. Not every day is there sun. Like this year, for the past 2 months, I'll tell you, there's been no sun. So this has a huge impact on our mental health. And this is the time, when I want to go back to India and have the sunlight. The sun is so important in our lives. I'm sure people in India must be thinking, is she mad? The sun is burning us down, and here there is no sun for days, for months. There are no sun. When it snows and there's sunshine on the snow, it's beautiful, believe me. But when there is no snow, just plain dark days, for like till 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock, just dark days. And then it becomes evening, and then it becomes night, dead of the night. Then 8 o'clock it's just a dim light, and till 4 o'clock it's evening, like it's light, it's just dim light. So you have to switch on all the lights in the at home. These are the drawbacks of coming to Canada. It's a beautiful country, it's a first world nation, people live here, people love living here, and some people are like some of the snowbirds, they're called snowbirds, they go off to places like Mexico and South America during the winters to spend some time over there. But this is the biggest drawback of Canada, I think, is the weather. I made a video on the weather a few days back, so you might want to just check it out. You might want to check out my vlog. I'll give the link below, and where I have asked the government, like, let's change the weather, let's do some kind of a cloud seeding, which is happening in China. Later on I found out it's already happening in China, and they're sending probes into the cloud to be able to disperse the cloud and make snowfall. They're sending probes into the cloud to be able to disperse the cloud and make snowfall in regions where there's not enough snowfall, and make rainfall in regions where the crops need to grow. This is happening real time. And this is, if you've read my book, WTF I Found God, here I have mentioned about Kardashev scale, which is a kind of another big story altogether. So you can read the book, or you can just find out, Google, find out about Kardashev scale. And we are going to reach Kardashev scale number 1, level 1, if we do this. I mean, this is one of the things, if we can handle the cloud seeding and changing the weather. Anyway, so now that it's not happening, not in my lifetime, but I'm glad that it has started happening. And yeah, okay, so if it's, even if it's not happening in my lifetime, I'm happy that it started. So this is the main reason why there are unbearable winter over here. It gets dark by lunchtime, like it's already dark. You if you see my it's already 3:30 and it's already getting dark. So this is the time when most of us suffer huge mental issues, depression, lack of energy. And though the snow is beautiful, not always does it snow. Most of the time, the sky is heavy and it's dull, and it looks like we are separated from the rest of the world by a thick bubble of clouds. These are the times I would want to go back to my motherland and enjoy the festivals, the winter sun, and just bask in the winter sun, the rays of the sun. I know some of the days are gloomy as well in India, but most of the time there is sun. The sun comes out, right, and it's brightens your day. But here it's like really you get to see the sunlight out. Like my window is open, but can you see any sun rays coming in? No, you can see from a reflection. It's a dull gray day outside. So like most of the times I would like to go back to my motherland. And another thing is sound. There's no sound in Canada. In India there are sounds, depicting the time of the day. For instance, in the morning there's a cuckoo cawing and cuckooing, and then crows are cawing, and then hens are cooing in the early morning, cock-a-doodle-doo. So then there's a bleat of the sheep around, and the day is begun. Like you cannot remain still in the sleeping in the bed after daylight breaks. So you cannot keep sleeping like 12 o'clock. Here you do not know when it is daytime, so I have to set an alarm in my clock, and then I cannot wake up because there is no sunlight from my window. So it just sets in a depression. And every day, like one day, a few days, like a couple of days, I would just switch on the TV and switch on YouTube and run real-time sunrise on TV. So that light of the sunrise from the TV, that kind of wakes me up. It's all mental, definitely, but it is affecting me mentally. It's affecting everybody around me mentally, right? So I'm not blaming anybody. Nobody can be blamed for this. This is the weather, but this is the truth of Canada. So you should understand that before coming here. So I would here, even during winter, we strain to see a bird, leave alone, we strain to see a fly, leave alone a bird, leave alone or any animals on the street, out in the street. So it's life makes you so lonely, so deserted. Like with work from home, again, just to see some life, it's very tough to think of a retired life in Canada. Like it's beautiful. You have a sprawling bungalow, sprawling house with lots of greenery. But where does the green vanish during 8 months of the year? Almost from September till March, end of April, there is no greenery. Like my brother once asked me, my mother's birthday, my mother passed away. So my mother's birthday is on December 16th, and I didn't have any flowers to give it to her on a photo frame. Would you believe it? I didn't have any flowers. So I have bought some artificial flowers, which I give every year. So my brother asked me in Bengali, "Tudar deshe phul pawa jay na?" Means you don't get flowers in your country? I said, there are no trees. Where will you get flowers from? So there are no trees. There are no plants. Where will you get flowers from? It's so depressing during the winter. And that is like 8 months, a big chunk of the year. So every year you cannot fly off to a warm country. It's expensive. Though I have started this new project called Retire in India, which the link of the website I'll give below. If you guys are interested, I have started this plan called Retire in India, where you can actually fly off to India at a very low cost and live there. I have friends who have apartments in various parts of India and Sri Lanka, and where you can live in a warm country for the particular period of winter period you want to escape from here. And India is actually much cheaper than living in Mexico or in any of the part of any other country south. So you can just live there for 2-3 months and come back recharged, and live there during the festivals, because the festivals are another thing I really miss, that. So retired life in India would be with some help. I would love to have retired life with some helpers around. As you know, this is the second point, that is, in Canada we have to do practically everything, from cooking, washing, cleaning, plumbing, electricity, mild construction work, because everything is so expensive. If you get a help, it's very expensive. So it's like a big luxury. Whereas in India, even with help getting costly and unreliable, I can still call in my plumber to help with my bathroom fittings, to get an app where I can get a plumber. Help is still available at a relatively lower cost, comparatively. So cost of living on the whole is cheaper in India than in cost of living here. Here you earn in dollars, but you're spending in dollars. Okay, so there is no money saved in the at the end of it, and the most of the time whatever you save, you're spending going to India and coming back. It's like visiting a foreign country every year. So anyway, middle class people like us are earning, like, we are earning in dollars, but you're spending in dollars. Like one bag of rice would cost $11, which is how much? 11 into 60, now it's $80, so 880, so nearly 1,000 rupees in if you calculate it. So so you're spending in dollars too. Okay, now if I can set up an online business and earn in dollars and spend in rupees in India, that would make it worth living. That would make the whole thing worth it, right? So I am thinking of that kind of a thing, and I'm giving you that kind of a like tip. So if you have your own house in India, right? So I have my own house in India. That's the third point. If you have your own house in India, which is paid off, or sometimes your parents' house you're living in, so you don't have to pay any mortgage on that house. Okay, so living there, going there and spending 3 months or 4 months of your life over there, retiring over there, it's very, very, it should be affordable. So I have my own properties in India which I don't want to sell, simply because I don't want to sever ties with my country, with my motherland. So these properties are all paid off, and I go out for rent and live in another, so which will be sufficient for a middle class person like me to be able to live there in India. So that is another point which I like to consider if I want to go back to India to retire in India, right? Retirement life. I'm heading, not heading now, but in another few years' time, I will be in a position I would like to retire. Now, there's another point. Number 4 is that Canada gives old age security pension and old age pension. So I'll have to check out how much of the time I have to spend in India, in Canada. So if you spend about some 20 years in Canada, I think, and pay for the taxes. I mean, you file taxes for 20 years in Canada, I think you can get OAS in any part of the world. So that is there. So I will get my OAS, old age security, in any part of the world, which should be sufficient for me to survive in any part of the world, in India, right? Number 5 is Canada has free healthcare. Now these are the pros and cons which I'm asking you to consider. Canada has free healthcare, which means the more I age, the more I need medical care, healthcare. So here, if you call 911 or you just walk into a hospital for anything, any problem, you get the best of the treatment, best of medical facilities. I'm sure India also has the best right now, so there is no comparison. But here you get, everybody gets equal best opportunity. India, there is like, if you have money only, you will get the best opportunity, right? Here, everybody is equally treated. This is a true socialist country. Everybody gets the best opportunities and the best healthcare, and irrespective of the status, irrespective of what you are earning, irrespective of where you are from, irrespective of the fact whether you are a citizen or a permanent resident, or even if you've come on work permit. I think work permit you don't get free healthcare, but if you are a permanent citizen, permanent resident, PR holder, or a citizen, you get equal pay, healthcare for everybody. So the quality of healthcare is the same, and then that makes a lot of difference, because as we age, obviously we're going to run into more and more health problems. So that way Canada is very secure. You're secure here. But let's talk the other side. If I go back to India, I can get a health insurance for a certain amount of money, a period, certain amount of money every year, so which will cover my health completely. And I can, if you pay money, you can get the best of healthcare in India. So that kind of makes balances this point out. Okay, I'm more keen to go back to India and settle down over there. But okay, Canada has free healthcare definitely, but there is a big waiting time for any kind of specialists. Because it is free, you are in a waiting period. Okay, so this waiting period, recently there's been various reports with too many immigrants and the waiting period in Canada going so long for healthcare. This is becoming huge, like a pressure on the economy. So which means if you are waiting for health, there've been so many times I just took to homeopathy and Ayurveda and I cured myself at home. And when the specialist called me, I said, I don't need you. I actually said I don't need any healthcare, any medicines. I'm fine. So that has happened so many times. You call a specialist, and like a specialist is supposed to contact you, and they take months to contact you. By the time they reach you, you're probably either dead or you've been cured. So many people over here, they fly off to India to get cured, to get their medical attention, medical help, and then they come back here cured. That costs them money. Now if we pay a medical insurance, a certain amount of insurance, I will not have to pay anything when I'm having my medical health care in India, right? Most importantly, just eat healthy, live life with a lot of yoga and a lot of green food and healthy food. Eat little as you can to survive, and that should be enough. That should not cause any problems, unless you're very unlucky, of course. So that is the thing. But India is a very restless country to retire in. So although all my new venture is encouraging people to take a lot of time off in India, I still feel India is a juvenile in the world dominion. Despite being on its journey to being the greatest superpower in the world, the people are very immature. I love Canada, but some of the Canadians are very big racists, and they have no respect for other cultures. Some Canadians, and they think they own this country, when actually in reality they are also immigrants to this country. There's nobody who's really nobody really owns this country. They're all immigrants. The owners of this country are First Nation Inuits, and they've been badly treated. We all know about that, how badly they've been treated, right? John MacDonald's statue is toppled over because he was being so ruthless with his First Nation people. So that's the only reason Canada, I dislike some of these Canadians. Similarly, in India, the people of India are very immature, very judgmental. They judge you by your clothes, your figure, how voluptuous you are, how good looking you are or not, how thin you are or fat you are, whether you're married, whether you're single, whether you are a gay, lesbian. That is always there. That's been always there, hounding people. And that is like besides the point totally. People are going to go crazy about that. Then there is basic things like in India, people are judgmental about everything that you have, whether you are going out at night, whether you're coming, how late you're coming home. It's very simple thing. Whether you're not stepping out of the house, people are going to comment. That kind of immaturity, I don't think I'll be able to deal with in my life right now. I am too used to the peace and the non-invasive society around me. Society out here is non-invasive. They do not interfere into your life, but they just generally they wish you well. In general, I'm not talking about the racists and the ignorant people who have no clue about the other societies and they just live in their own bubble. I'm not talking about them, but in general, people are very kind, and they respect human beings, but just being humans. If you're crossing the road, irrespective of who you are, the truck will stop. Okay, so it's your right of way. That has been said by the government, that the pedestrian has to walk first and everybody waits, nobody honks. Okay, so that is really very intense. So like, you don't realize how peaceful India is now, of course. Like, okay, before that, let me tell you, despite being on his journey on the greatest superpower of the world, the people are very immature. As I said, I keep coming across news where the police bites of a woman, or a passenger pees on another woman in the plane. Deepika Padukone is wearing some saffron bikini, and severe communal tensions because of this in a country which is hosting the G20. It is not a joke. You guys should accept the responsibility and the huge, that you are the world leader, one of the world leaders. Like, people look up to India. People are thinking of going to India for yoga and mental. Even the Beatles, like, they went to India to get their own mental peace. You are guiding in the world, and look at some of you. How can you be so immature in your ways? Just look at you. Responsibility, people are looking up to you. The entire world is looking up to you. India means something noble, something beautiful. That's what the world thinks of you, you know. So, I mean, like, now you don't realize actually how peaceful India is. I don't want to go Modi Bhakt or something. Don't I'm not. But the general situation for the past, when I came here, I came to Canada. From that time till now, it's a peaceful situation. I have witnessed every day railways being blown up by Naxalites. Every other day there was a terrorist attack. We witnessed two assassinations of two prime ministers. I witnessed it myself. I witnessed the Mumbai blast. I witnessed the Mumbai terror attacks. I saw it on a daily basis. I saw what we went through. I witnessed the Babri Masjid attack. Okay, so we have seen how extreme the internal conflicts in India can lead you to, can drive a woman like me out of India, because I had to save my son, okay, and save my family. So in a nutshell, it's a judgmental people around. It's so much immaturity around. People commenting about you, talking about you, and blah and blah. Then it becomes difficult to go there and rest in peace and relax in peace or retire in peace. So Canada, there's no such thing. Nobody cares which car you're driving. Nobody cares where you work as long as you're paying the taxes. And the common man is actually respected here. Most importantly, Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Indians, Pakistani, Bangladeshis, they all reside in absolute harmony. Okay, and they're sharing their food, their culture, their ideas. I have regular parties with Bangladeshis and Pakistanis, and where we don't talk about political stuff much. We just talk about our own selves, our own problems. So if anybody doesn't eat beef, it's okay, we respect it. If doesn't eat pork, so they respect it. So it's like some Pakistani person coming to my house, so I will not cook pork. Okay, so I can make beef. But if I'm going to their house, they will not cook beef, because they will just make chicken. So it's very respected. Your culture, your religion is respected, but nobody talks about it so much. It is very, most Muslims care if their food, if the meat is halal or not. We Hindus don't care. Bengalis don't care at all. But I've tasted both. Unfortunately, the halal meat is tastier. Okay, so Canada has a real socialism and secularism. Although Canada is still slanted to give the Muslims the privileges, jobs in Canada must include brown person, a person from the minority, one person from the LGBTQ community, and one woman. So this is a mandatory. So in Canada, it is almost very unattractive to be a white male, you are the last consideration. And like children are giving priority, the old age people are given so much priority, women are given priority. So if you're a middle-aged person and a white male, you are like really lost in Canada, it seems. Okay, so crime rates, then when I think of the bigger picture, and now over here, Canada has managed to unite all the communities within the framework of a very stringent legal system. Law is something unbelievable in Canada. This is, people really respect the law, which is not, which India will take another, I don't know, 200, 300 years to get there. Legal system is terrible over there still, even still. It's getting better, I'm sure, but it's really, it'll take a long time. So we all respect the legal system over here, not fear like USA. Like in USA people are scared of the legal system. They're scared of the police. But if you're even over here, if the police comes, we tend to cooperate with the police. Generally here there you will not find too many racist police officers, or any kind of racist attacks like it happened in USA. So we are given, at the same time, we are given the rights to practice our religion, the celebrations, festivals with respect towards each other. And then, which is why Diwali and Chinese New Year are now official festival days over here. Not holidays, but they're festival days. You can burst crackers and fireworks and do fireworks over here in your own homes. It is allowed, So when I think of the bigger picture, though I have regular pangs of going back to my motherland, I may want to live a non-invasive society, mature enough to handle such huge immigration influx every day, yet maintain a social structure. Why just humans? The way the government treats the trees during winter, you cannot believe. And grass during summer. The huge evergreen trees along the highway, they are wrapped in jute cloth all up to the top, all throughout the winter, so that the snow doesn't harm the evergreen leaves, the coniferous and the fir leaves. So it's lined up on the highway. I'll just give a picture over here. Lined up on the highway, the coniferous trees which are wrapped in jute cloth. And the grass during summer is laid out, laid over the sidewalk. It is like the layout carpets of grass are rolled out on the sidewalks, so which had been meticulously grown in the nurseries over the winter. It's mind-blowing just to watch that. Then just plant tulips along the roads, grown tulips, fully cultured tulips. They just plant them around the tulips and dahlias and daffodils. In summer, this country is just burst with colors. Just bursts with colors. Summer is like a festival here, like winter, it's like a festival over there. So crime rates are lower in Canada, which of course is a big factor. I can go to sleep peacefully at night, even if my son is not coming home early, like coming home late. So I cannot imagine the parent of a daughter in India who will never be able to sleep this well at night if the daughter is out late. Though it is much, much more lesser than what is to be in our days, India still needs miles to go before it can eliminate sexual exploitation of women. So that is another point. Number 7, sexual exploitation of women is still there in India. And that is because, primarily because of the Bollywood culture. There's too many with Bollywood, of the objectifying of women, the Hindi movie culture. So now, that's been played a crucial part in the past. With Bollywood now almost finished with the film projects, and now the films project women as people, as normal human beings, irrespective of what clothes they're wearing. They could wear a bikini and still be talking about the world affairs, or about, a mother can be wearing just a halter neck and cooking for her children. It doesn't matter what you wear. It really doesn't matter what you wear or what your figure is like. You are a human being. You are a person. And that respect is not there, has not been there in India, because Bollywood had been objectifying women and placing them as a puppet doll. Latest being Pathan, of course. I must say, I hope the Pathan is the last of such a thing, and I hope Deepika Padukone and the kinds will get out of this. Deepika Padukone has been also played in Chapak, so that's not a point. Point is that you should stop objectifying and just showing off your figures in dances which are mindless dances, and which kind of just titillate the men living in the crowd, just titillating them. And these people are these actors and actresses on the stage. They think they're doing a very good gyration and a very good step. No, you think you're doing a very good step, dancing step. No, you're titillating the audience. You know, you're just seeing it in big picture, and you're just titillating the audience to go out and rape the next girl. So Bollywood should stop this completely. At least abstain from this song and dance period for at least 50 years for the society to get back to normalcy. So for the society to respect women with what they are, and not just, either you love them or put them on a pedestal, or you are treating them like your sex slaves or something like that. No, it should be equal. We are all equal human beings. Without us, the creation would not have happened. So without men also, the creation would not have happened. So we are all equal. Okay, I think I'm making some sense now. It's gone past 31 minutes. I think I'll wrap it up. Okay, so I'll just, for the timing, I think if you ask me, I'll just shuttle between India and Canada till my health permits. Then I have to take a call where I'm going to settle down finally. So coming home this Durga Pujas, and hoping to make a lot of vlogs from Kolkata during the pujas. I am going to be so excited. So I'm coming home this pujas. We'll see you there. Bye bye. Take care.